Grand Rising Karen. Hello, beautiful. I've been down gathering information this morning. I hope Christina comes in today because some of the information is about Italy, and maybe she can give some feedback on these places in Italy that we're going to talk about. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in. Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome in. Got lots to cover today. I've got some news. We've got an update on the world. Grand Rising Pepsi. Hello, darling. Well, hello, Malibu. Welcome in. For the plan. Seek your sanctuary.
Seek your sanctuary in this place. It's an allegory to embrace.
Christasha! Hello, hello! Oh my goodness, how are you? How are you? Oh, it's so good to see you. How's your new place that you manifested? Old Dust didn't realize they used this login. Oh my goodness. Hi, Tammy Lou. Hi, beautiful. TikTok. Oh, that's amazing. I love that. I love that, Malibu. Miss Christasha. I've missed you. I was thinking about you last weekend, actually. When I was doing my trinket day, I was like, where's Christasha lately? Aw, good for you. Good for you. Hello, John Hip. Welcome in. This is Ascension Class. Aw, we've missed you too. Yeah, today I've got some news about the world. Grand Rising, Julia. Hi, beautiful angel. Love is the key. If skies are to welcome. Goodwill among men. Oh my goodness. Like I said, I hope Christina shows up. We're going to be talking about Italy today. A little bit. A little bit about Italy. And this is someone had asked me a question about goddesses, and the Spirit answered me today. So yeah, I can't remember who it was that said something about the divine feminine, the goddess, not being in the book of the Immortal. And I explained to them about the Sophia Code and how it was full of the goddesses, right? The feminine ascended masters. And we had been over that. And so we're going to talk more about the goddesses today. Oh, it was April. Okay. Yeah, okay. Well, she's going to like today's class then. Are they? No, they're not back in Italy yet, but they plan on going back to Italy. Hello, Rebecca. Hello, darling. But yes, we're going to talk a little bit about Italy today. So I hope Christina comes in. Hello, Flower Power. Hello, darling. Long and see, you'll see my post on your recent post. I'm sure I manifested that post. Oh, awesome. Awesome. Yeah. I can't remember my most recent post. Was that the one with the the one I did yesterday about what we learned from the Immortal book? Right. how paying attention was it? But hi, April. Hi, beautiful. We're going to talk about the goddess today. I found some more information. Actually, I was brought to some more information. Yes, yes, yes. The 12 to 16 keys about manifesting. Yes, 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 yes. That's in the book Immortal, the book that we've been reading. Yes. I love that. Hi, Chris. Hi, beautiful. All right. That was sky sent because we are sky sent. We are star seeds. We are angels. And, oops, my thing's not on here. I was led down some cool information this morning. Let's go ahead and get the rainbow butterfly channel going. And as you know, the music in here is spirit led. We have 431 songs for spirit to guide us to, and spirit does guide us. And also, if you hear a song from a past loved one, is them coming in. So let's start. Okay. Oh, Leather and Lace. Leather and Lace by Stevie Nicks is the first song up. All right. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Great to see you. Like I said, Christasha. Ah, yes. Hi, Aura. Welcome. Christina, I'm so glad you are here today. I was calling you in because I found out some information about some places in Italy. So we're going to be talking a little bit about Italy today. Yeah, and it is D class of some more information from the portal. So yeah. But first we're going to go ahead and do our cards for the day. Have you heard of a place called Patigliano? Patigliano. It looks, I'm going to show pictures and everything. So, yeah. All right. This is Chakra Wisdom cards. Chakra Wisdom card is, yes, Crown Chakra, meditation and silence. I sit still in meditation regularly as I know there is power in silence. Hi, Christy. Hi, beautiful. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in, angels, for another day of wisdom from Spirit. Okay. I seek out stillness during some part of every day. In the silence, I am open to receive without asking and without expectation. In the silence, I will hear and see the truth. Rest, tranquility, and peace are rejuvenating to my spirit. Miraculous, emotional, mental, and physical healings are available when I am open to receive. Yes, meditation and silence. It's near Tuscany. Okay. Well, I'm gonna tell you some things about that place. I don't know if it's gonna make you surprised or if you will know this information, but I didn't know the information, so I'm definitely gonna share it with you guys. This is our healing energy oracle, and it says shining light. My desire to improve myself transforms fear into strength. I raise my thoughts above doubt and find faith in the goodness of the universe. I love and accept myself as a soul, and I discover the light that dwells in me. Discover the light that dwells in you. Balance. I find a balance between each sphere of my life. Ah, that's funny. I love that, Christasha. I am the master of my daily life. I make time to nourish the spiritual and the physical. I bring love to my world by fulfilling the needs of my body and soul. Yes. and vitality. I am a being of light. I accept the divine energy in my body, and every one of my cells regenerates. Yes, we are regenerating our cells every day. We are reverse aging. We are. All right. Here is our Work Your Light Rainbow Oracle. Work your light. Get grounded. Get grounded. Empaths, highly sensitives, connect with nature. Hug those trees. Take those shoes off. Run around in the snow. I forget you guys got snow there, don't you? All right, so maybe not. You might get frostbitten toes if you do that, but you can still hug trees, right? You can still bundle up and hug a tree. Yep. Don't go getting frostbitten toes. We don't want that. Protection. Call back your power. Yeah, right? And cut the cords. Soul retrieval. Call back all your pieces to you. Yes, I know. I forget. You guys aren't all in Florida. I'm in Florida. I can run around barefoot in shorts in the wintertime. And the answer again is no. Wait, postpone, pause, say no. Okay? Wait, postpone, pause, just say no. Whatever it is. I don't know. The circle has been very prominent in messages for you recently. Ah, yes. All right, here is Rose, our Rose Oracle. Well, you're here for a reason, Christasha, right? Your higher self brought you here for a reason. Plant yourself here. Look at that. Plant yourself here. Integrate, embodiment, grounded action, more grounding. More grounding. I think you just had to be around your soul family today. I think that was it. The Rose of Venus, alignment, flow, right relationship, and harmony. It brings us harmony to come together. It brings us balance to come together, right? We are nature. We are nature, becoming grounded, more grounding, embodiment, living in the connection. Living in the connection to your higher self. Yes. Universe is sending us rise. Rise. It is time to rise. This is our fairy guidance, and it says moderation. Is there something you shouldn't be eating? Oh gosh, so many things, right? I'm trying to say goodbye to them. One thing at a time, universe, right? Try to eat mindfully and healthily. Yes, I'm putting my attention on everything I put into my mouth. Although the fairies say that a little bit of what you fancy is fine, right? Eat that piece of cake sometimes, right? Just don't eat the whole cake. Yes. Yeah, I love my sweets too. I bought some grapes, and frozen grapes are helping a lot. Also dates. I love dates. And you guys might think I'm funny, but I love prunes. I love prunes. I think they taste like candy. So these are my 3 natural candies I've been eating. Oh, and pineapple. That jarred pineapple. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I am like hooked on this pineapple. Eat it every day. Every day. Right? Hello, Brandy. Hi, beautiful. And our animal for the day is play. Dolphin. Dolphin. Good for you, Christina. I'm not there yet. Swim in the happy joy of living. Inhale confidence and exhale fear. Dive into your wisdom and go with the flow. Didn't we have that earlier? Go with the flow. Yes, we did. We did. We had it in our rose card, or one of the cards. Go with the flow. All right. Here is our angel card for the day. Our angel card says daydream. You will more easily hear and receive our messages if you daydream regularly. Relax and open your mind to receive without directing your thoughts. Just notice any feelings, visions, or ideas as if you were watching a movie. This is the seat of creativity. We are in this movie. We are the actors in our own movies. This is our awakened dreamer. We are the awakened dreamers, the knower that knows. Yes, exactly. Me too, when I just sit there and just think. And I'm like, Spirit, guide me. And I get guided. Every time I ask, I get guided. The knower that knows. There's a knower within you who always knows what to do, where to go, and with whom to connect. The evidence of being attuned to this voice is that you are flooded with peace, ease, grace, and an electric vitality. Amplify the voice of the knower by acting on its wisdom. We are on a quest. We are on a quest. You are the hero in your story. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Oh, I love that. I dreamt about my mom. I dreamt about my mom this morning. It was amazing. I love when I have dreams about her, and I dream about her often. She's always there. Here is our butterfly for the day. Oh, you woke up hearing St. Finnegan. Awesome. Nothing is impossible for the heart. Love will always find a way. Yes. Love will always find a way. All right. And our ascended master for the day is Bridget. Bridget, inner strength. Move back to wholeness. Recognize that you have the power. And it's very convenient, and that Bridget is the one that came through today because she is an ascended master goddess. And universe is sending us rainbow. Rainbow. Beautiful goddess Bridget is with us today. There you go. All right. Now, we're going to talk about some news that I got today through the portal. Through the portal. Okay. So, this is the current planetary situation. Behind the scenes. Ahaha. Yes, I love that, Christina. Yes. She's one of your guides. Ah, Steffi. Hi, beautiful. Everyone that's in here is supposed to hear this information. Okay. So, and I'm going to have some pictures for you also. So, to understand the current planetary situation, we need to dive a bit into occult history. Remember, occult just means hidden. That's all it means. Okay. In 2nd century BCE, when the Orsini family was expanding their properties north of Rome, they came across a network of underground tufa tunnels below Etruscan settlements of if I don't even know if I'm saying this right, but Pitigliano and Orvieto. Okay? So I'm going to show you this place. It is beautiful. That is Pitigliano, Italy. Okay? So that is Pitigliano. And Here's a an aerial view. Look at this town, isn't it? It's like a town in a video game. It reminds me of a town in a video game. How beautiful, right? Let me show you more of these pictures because it really is gorgeous. That's the Piazza Fortezza in Pitigliano. You know, maybe Christina, it's saying when you get back to Italy, go take a look in Pitigliano. Now, we're going to talk about the underground tunnels. There are underground tunnels in Pitigliano. We're going to talk some more about them. And this is part of those underground tunnels. That's a stone pathway. And look at that. Just gorgeous. What a beautiful place, right? Cave tombs. And there's part of the town. Like I said, it reminds me of a place in a game that I've played before. Inside one of the buildings, and that's the place at night. Just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. All right, so more about that. Okay. Underground tunnels. In those tunnels, they have encountered native reptilians, and they forged a military alliance with them, which later supported the rise of the Catholic cult as tunnels were built to connect Pitigliano and the Vatican Hill. And the Vatican Hill. For some reason, I can't see your chat. Because I know, I could feel Christina's talking to me. Okay, let's see. Christina. Okay. You've been to Orvieto. Oh, okay. There we go. Near my Zio Enrico's house in Tivoli. Oh, wow. They all look like that. Oh, even in Tivoli. Ah. Oh, you've been to the gardens in Tivoli? Okay. All right. So in the tunnels, they encountered native reptilians. As the tunnels were built to connect Pitigliano and the Vatican Hill, the Orsini family has a very strong presence in the area north of Rome for over 2,000 years. And since the 14th century, Pitigliano was their main entry point into the underground reptilian empire. Let's see what this is a picture of. Is it going to come? Oh, yeah. It's not letting me look at that picture, but that's all right. Okay, now, Theodosian dynasty, currently the Theodili family, made another military alliance with the negative Andromedans in the late 4th century CE, which effectively crashed the Roman civilization. Delicious honey too. Oh yes, I bet the honey is rich. Yes. Hadrian's village, Villa d'Este, Bangdi di Tivoli. Wow. Okay. I figured you would be familiar with this area. So I don't know if you know anything about these families, but they're some of the richest families in the world. And they're some of the families that run shit, if you know what I mean. Okay. So Theodosian dynasty, currently the Theodali family, made another military alliance with the negative Andromedans. And then the Aldobrandini family made an alliance with the Aldebarans in the 16th century. And there are facts about that alliance that will surprise many people when they will finally be revealed. The Aldebarans are light. Okay? So there has been a dark light thing in Italy for a very, very, very long time. Okay, it's because you've got your dark factions and then you got your light factions. So the Aldobrandini family made an alliance with the Aldebarans in the 16th century. Cathar and Templar movements in the 12th to 14th centuries were attempt by the light forces to bring light to the planet again. Inquisition was an institution created by the dark forces to suppress that light, and especially to suppress goddess energy. Here we go. This is when the suppression of the goddess energy started. Then the light forces tried again to bring more light with the Renaissance and with the Protestant movement. And as a reaction to this, Farnese family created the Jesuits. So the Jesuits soon began exploring the underground world, and they made great progress in the 1660s. They made contact with underground draconians in the 1660s, and a military pact was signed, for which only very few top Jesuits knew about. Okay? So even before Eisenhower did all this, some of the richest families in the world making contracts with reptilians and draconians. I didn't know this. Yeah, 1212 portal. Right. Seven generations don't have a whole lot of light in them. I'm here to counter. Yes, Christina. See? I knew you'd get this. In the late 17th and early 18th centuries, a small group of Jesuits broke off the surface civilization and started a breakaway group. With draconian assistance, in the late 18th century, they already had small colonies across the solar system. In the late 19th century, they were allowed by their Draco and negative Andromedan overlords to hold small slave colonies in some less important solar systems under Draco dominion in our galaxy and in the Andromeda galaxy. And these Jesuits were never a main force in intergalactic wars, and they tended to gravitate back to our solar system during the 20th century, as the Draco lost more and more territory across the galaxy. After the Archon invasion in 1996, think about where you were in 1996, because there was a big Archon invasion going on. They held some important positions in the dark infrastructure of the solar system Illuminati breakaway factions. They were controlling the dark astrology matrix and were heavily invested in AI nanotechnology. So they had nanotechnology in 1996. Well, of course they did. So now there is still some of that Jesuit presence left throughout the solar system, and they still control a huge amount of nanites, some of them interplanetary, and most of the nanites on the surface of this planet. These nanites create a network that can communicate through radio waves. This interplanetary Jesuit network, together with their allied non-physical reptilians and draconians, are giving occult power to the surface Jesuits, which control the surface dark networks through hazing ritual initiations taking place in Jesuit universities. Many people who were studying at Jesuit universities and went through those rituals are now obedient servants of the Jesuits and their agenda. So now, the positive Andromedans and Aldebarans are starting to clear all remnants of the Jesuit reductions from the solar system. And this will greatly reduce the power of the surface Jesuits. Okay, so that was all that was left on earth, was the surface Jesuits. This is the Satanists, okay? This is the ones that are hurting little ones. And the positive Andromedans and Aldebarans are here to take care of that. Yes, exactly, Christy. Yes, April M. Ultra. Yes, the 5G towers are weapons of destruction. But we know this. That is why people are starting to take them down. Also, the organizations, the letter organizations, they're being taken down. If you know what I mean. I can't, even on YouTube, you can't say everything. All right. Where we stand now, the positive Aldebarans and Andromedans have also started the second phase of their infiltration into the surface society. They use cloned humanoid bodies to replace certain people in key positions in the secret police and alphabet agency networks in most regimes around the planet. Especially the more total... My throat's getting attacked right now. Okay. Especially the more totalitarian ones. And this will counteract the Jesuit invasion of BRICS, where many such regimes are found. Okay? Right, for entertainment purposes only. Yes, the Vatican has the most powerful telescope in the world. Since China made some huge strategic mistakes during 2024, the light forces have decided to support the United States to be a country which will create the breakthrough. Ding, ding, ding. So Carrie Cassidy is getting some intel from behind the scenes, but is not interpreting it correctly. Okay, so Carrie Cassidy from the, what is she? She's, oh goodness. I'm trying to find her. Camelot. Project Camelot is Carrie Cassidy, if any of you are familiar with her. So all the information that she's getting right now, and if you hear any information from her, know that she's getting it wrong. She is not interpreting it correctly. The light forces have put their power behind the Trump ET, right, presidency, and many positive occult Templar groups were meditating for fair elections, with Trump being elected effectively creating a positive timeline shift. Now, Andromedan and Aldebaran infiltration is taking place in the USA also, and they have communicated that they may contact Trump or Musk directly. Now, Trump is a gray hat. He's not a white hat, and he's not a dark hat. He is called a gray hat. We learned about the grays, about the gray souls, that they are neither dark nor light. They haven't made their decision yet. Okay? So, he's a gray hat. But at the moment, he and his future administration is more suitable to work with the light forces than any of the other main world leaders and their administrations. So there is a huge spiritual transformation taking place. This is where Saint Germain comes in. So Saint Germain has started activating positive occult groups, both in the Agartha network and on the surface. We know the Agartha network is in the center of Earth, right? Okay. So, on the surface, especially groups that have already had some connection with Saint Germain are being activated, especially some Templar, Rosicrucian, Masonic, Misraim, and Theosophical groups. These groups are being prepared for the big activations in 2025 and the future arrival of the Golden Age. The activations will happen in 2025. We're all going to be here for this. All of us. There is also a huge reorganization and activation of the whole Agartha network taking place. They are being aligned with Galactic Confederation. The resistance movement is becoming a special force department within the Agartha and Agarthan Silver Fleet, which will be reactivated again after the Jesuit removal from the solar system. Silver Fleet is a fleet of Agarthan spaceships that was instrumental in awakening the surface population to the positive New Age movements in the 1975 to 1995 period. So that fleet went into hiding during the Archon invasion in 1996 and is expected to be fully reactivated again in January of 2025. 2 days before Pluto enters Aquarius, the dark forces made their last attempt to escalate the situation. Okay? This is when, with the stuff with Ukraine and the U.S. missiles hitting targets inside of Russia. So our meditation, and the reason why I'm giving you this information is because the meditation on 12/21, it doesn't matter if you do it solo. Well, I hope you won't do it solo, but there are the group that we just allied with, the Fire Warriors, they will be doing a group meditation if you can make that meditation on the 21st. If not, find another meditation on the 21st. They're going to be all over. Look to all of the spiritual leaders around the world, and you will find a meditation for 12/21. This meditation is super, super important for all the light workers on the planet. All right. So that is the update for the situations that are going on around the world right now. JB is trying to instigate WAR also. He's controlled. He is so controlled that it's ridiculous. But yeah. April, they are trying to open up portals. They have been trying to open up portals. The thing is, they can't. They can't. There's the light are closing the portals as quick as they open the dark portals. They're trying to bring in more entities through the veil, but they can't. Yeah. I need to go over to there and find out more because, we've got 10 or 11 days, or 9 days. Pitigliano aura. Pitigliano is the name of the town in Italy. And there was two. Orvieto. Orvieto. Yeah, Pitigliano and Orvieto. And it also, in April, it's funny that you would mention the goddess energy, because it says goddess energy has been suppressed drastically in the last 2,000 years, and certain activations between Saint Germain and Princess de Lamballe in the 1770s have begun to restore the goddess presence within the Brotherhood of the Star, and that process is still ongoing. The divine feminine ascended masters are being awakened on the planet. And then there was also, it says, it seems Saint Germain has influenced many in the works of art. Why is that? How listening to Mozart, looking at a statue or a painting can help us. Can art help us establish a connection with the Order of the Star? And he was influencing art to become a portal to higher consciousness. So there is an artist named Vigi Lebrun. And this artist can help us reach the consciousness of the soul. And this is so cool because I looked up this artist and all her pictures are of women. I'm going to show you this. So all these, this is her work. Her name's Elizabeth Vigi Lebrun, and she paints women. So if you look this up and maybe, look at the eyes, right? Look into the eyes of these women. And you can get lost in these paintings, right? Beautiful. So that will also help you get in touch and remember your inner goddess. Remember who you are at a soul level, right? Some of you already know. Christina knows. I basically know. Some of us already know which female ascended master that we are connected with. Into the mystic. Ah, see? Your mama's coming in, is she? That's awesome. Mine too. Yep. When they open that portal. I keep seeing the movie Raiders of the Lost Ark, and all that are exposed to that energy will be cursed. Yeah. Right, Ted. Well, the divine feminine are the portals. We are the portals. Men cannot be portals. As much as you want to, you can't be portals. Right? Yeah. Oh, I know, Ted. I know. But I'm talking about on the what people see, okay? It hasn't shown that he was executed 2 years ago. It hasn't shown that. It shows the clone of him or the actor that plays him, right? But he's controlled. That's what I meant. I know it's not the real one. And people should know too, they're two different, totally different people. They don't even look alike. They don't even look alike. Yeah. All right. We are going to get into the rest of this chapter of the Immortal. So legend has it that John, the author of the Apocalypse, our Revelations, never died and still walks the earth after 2,000 years. And these pages have the fascinating story of one man's encounter with a virtual immortal. Oh, And there's one more thing I wanted to mention, another thing that I was brought to this morning. You guys, I don't know if you guys have heard, but there was a death in the United Health Organization, and the young man that they are accusing of doing that, they have a lot of evidence against him, like a lot. I thought they were railroading him, but I don't know, because they have a lot of evidence, and concrete evidence, not just circumstantial, right? Yeah, okay, Luigi, that's it. He was under a spell. I believe he was MK Ultra, but they got everything, Christina. They are railroading him. Yep. And I don't even know why that came up, because I don't know that much about that organization. It is one of the 3-letter organizations. Maybe that man had a, I don't know. Is he, what is, who did it? Who's behind it? Right? Yep. Yep. Yeah, I'm watching that movie also. Kind of took a sidetrack. Yeah. You think so, Trina? I definitely have seen a lot of exits lately of those type of people. There's been a lot of exits of those type of people. Yeah. Nothing would surprise me at this point. Nothing would surprise me. Yep. But they are going to they're going to get that kid. They're going to get him. They've got the weapon, they've got a backpack full of stuff. They've got him in the vicinity. I mean, yeah. They've got him going by the name in the hotel. They really railroaded him bad. Yeah. Exactly, Christine. Exactly. Exactly. Too easy. Too easy. They got all of this, everything on him already. Already. Yep. All right, let's get into the Immortal before it gets too late. I made a mental note to ask John later about the conflicts that exist on higher levels, as I said. So let's pick something like the death penalty. Ahaha. Okay, so this is why we're reading this right now. I wonder if they're going to try to do that for him. Oh, I don't know. Wow. That has been a subject of hot debate for some time. How is it that everyone here would have the same view on that? For one thing, he said, no one is allowed into any level of Shambhala who is not sensitive to the inner voice of the soul. And in the world of the soul, there is only oneness and unity. The one quality those who have soul contact have in common is that they are willing to accept reality or truth no matter what it is. Most of the people on the earth are full of fixed ideas, which are not even their own thoughts, but planted in them by some outside authority. Such a person, if he believes in the death penalty, could not accept a teaching that he is wrong. On the other hand, he who is against the death penalty would have just a difficult time accepting that he is wrong. To make real progress in spiritual evolution, one must be willing to accept change, even if his whole belief system is shattered. Only a true disciple can do this. All right, I want to stop there for just a moment and tell you guys that in my mother's murder case. The young man that did it, okay? At the time, we asked for the death penalty. I was against it, but my sister and my brother and the state were for it. So I couldn't fight all of them. So I was like, whatever. So we got the death penalty on this kid, and he was only 19 years old. Well, he was 21 by the time we got him into court, but when he did it, he was 19 years old. So, he won an appeal. First, we won and got the death penalty on this kid. As you know, with the death penalty, they still, well, this is how it happens. They get to appeal it. Like 3 times they can appeal. And so he appealed and he won his appeal, and we go back to court like 2 years later. And he won his appeal because the state, when they prosecuted, had brought up his past drug use because he was a drug user in the past. And they weren't allowed to bring that up because that was his past. Although I think it should have been brought up because it was part of who he was as a person. But because they did that, he won his appeal. Now, when we went back to court with the same evidence that we had, which was absolutely incredulous, the guy did it, okay? We didn't win the death penalty that time. The second time, he got life in prison without the possibility of parole. So I was always against the death penalty. I always have been, right? I don't believe in a life for a life as far as that goes. I don't believe any human entity or, group should have the right to end another person's life. Just like I don't believe a person has a right to end another person's life or their own life, because I believe it's all up to God. So that is what happened in the case of the man that murdered my mother, right? So he's in there. He really thought, the smug ass really thought he was going to get away with it the second time because he won the appeal. He was all smug. He had a girlfriend there, a girl that he had got a hold of a cell phone in prison and was talking to this girl, beautiful girl, and he snowed her, and she really believed that he was getting out, that he was innocent. There should be no reason why a person like that, a murderer, should have access to a cell phone. Right? Master manipulator. Oh, he's already been removed, Christina. He's already been removed. Yeah. People like this, they get what they deserve. They get what they deserve. But still to this day, even with that man, I don't believe in the death penalty. So, all right. Only a true disciple can do this. I can see that. I've had a lot of arguments over religion. and politics in my life, and it is obvious to me that most people are unwilling to change, no matter how clearly the truth is presented. This obstacle is the most frustrating human characteristic with which the teachers of the race have to face, he said. That is one of the reasons I so enjoy visiting Shambhala and the New Jerusalem. Let us suppose 2 residents of this location and 2 residents of general humanity were presented with a situation as follows. We have before us a mortal person who was willing and knowingly killed an innocent person. There is a difference between ending someone's life that are innocent and that are guilty. Because he is caught, he seems to feel very sorry for what he did. He pleads for his life. He seems to have potential for good if he can be turned around. Should he be put to death or not? John is going to answer this question. I don't need to answer it. I told you my feelings on it. Let's see what John the Revelator says. I don't know how this is going to go. I don't know how this is going to go. Yeah. Creator is the only one to choose who exits the earth. Yeah. We pray for them. Exactly. Now, the reason 2 normal people will argue incessantly about the killer's fate is because both have only a snapshot of the cause and effect in the person's life and life in general. Here in Shambhala, any 2 people would not just be looking at a snapshot. Instead, they would see the person's whole life, would be aware of the motive of the murder, of the effect of the murder on the victims, and the effect of the various possible punishments on the wayward brother. This awareness would not end with the person being executed as on earth. They would be aware of the effect of the punishment projected into the future several lifetimes hence. Because of these projections, the correct and most beneficial course of action becomes very obvious, and any 2 people who have let go of preconceived notions can accept them. Many people have heated arguments on the earth, would be startled if they could come here and see a projection of what would have happened if they got their way. They would be extremely relieved that they are limited in power to carry out their little wills when they discover the possible disaster their ignorance can yield. So will humanity ever reach the stage where they can tune into the inner voice and become one, I asked. The day when the majority reach that stage is still far away, but the day is near when a few are to achieve it. And that is one of the main purposes in presenting these teachings through you. The next great leap in human evolution is dependent on groups of people being established who are capable of being one through soul contact. That the will of God is done on earth as it is in heaven, so to speak. People must realize that true oneness is achieved not by giving up individuality, but by expanding the mind and spiritual sensitivity so the truth becomes obvious to all. John paused and continued. Let me give you an example of how spiritual evolution brings oneness. A generation ago, in the United States, it was no big deal to shoot a stray house cat for sport. If a person were to criticize another for such a thing, an individual in a group would argue that it was no big deal because it was just a stupid cat. Now, in this day, people are sensitive enough that all in an average group would agree that it would be wrong to shoot a stray cat for sport. This later group did not lose any of their essence or individuality because they are of one mind on the subject. The new generation is just more enlightened about the value of the lesser lives. One of the greatest barriers to reaching oneness is this fear of losing part of ourselves. But such fear is based on illusion, as was demonstrated when the South lost their power to own slaves. Now the nation is unified in the abolishment of that practice, and much the better for it. Only a few wretched souls think that the country has lost anything of value. On the other hand, the dark brothers who seek oneness by taking away free will are another matter. Again, they seek to project the image of something good and desirable, yet their method is to be totally avoided. Outward oneness by force does not inward oneness create. So am I finally done with the first key? I asked in anticipation. Yes and no, said John. I should have known that was the answer. Let me guess. The answer is yes because I have the key words, and no because John smiled at me and said, yes, you have the key words and an elementary understanding. You are done to the extent that we will now move on to the second key. But the answer is no as far as you having a complete knowledge of decision and who you are. Even the Ancient of Days still contemplates the full meaning and power of decision. You will find that as you contemplate the teachings we have discussed, more light will come. Also, as you complete the rest of the keys, your understanding of who you are will be enhanced. I sense that what you say is true, especially when I reflect on the feeling I had when I looked through the crystals. I know the depth of who we are is almost an infinite thing. So when do I get the first hints for the second key? I asked, anxiously, thinking I was finally making real progress toward the third key and the promise of Elizabeth's permanent healing. Yes. We can begin that now if you are ready. Do you want to get up and take a short break first? I wouldn't mind, I said, getting up and walking toward the crystals. Using these crystals was exhilarating, but it made me a little tired physically. Yes, high spiritual energy tends to sap physical strength temporarily. You are fortunate you drank the elixir first, or you would really be weak. What is the story behind these crystals anyway? The biblical name of these crystals is the Urim and Thummim. All Urim and Thummim are linked to each other. This one we see before us is linked to a set that is in the private office of the Ancient of Days. His set is linked to even higher beings in other systems and planets. This universal linkage is what gives them their tremendous power of revelation. Didn't the high priest in the days of Moses have a Urim and Thummim? Yes, but they were much smaller and less potent than the ones here in Shambhala. Nevertheless, it did give them power to receive some revelation for the Israelites. In addition to this, every human being has a tiny duplicate of the Urim and Thummim in their head. Interesting. Maybe that's our pineal or pituitary, which can be activated by the opening of the so-called third eye or the ajna center. When this is activated correctly, a person can become a prophet in his own right and draw down revelation from the higher realms. This is how we get our downloads, through that, because we're connected to the two crystals in the New Jerusalem. Very interesting. I have something else I want to see. Can I use the crystals again? The piezoelectric crystals in the back of our neck. Oh, I see. Ah, there you go. As above, so below. Yes. Very interesting. I have something else I want to see. Can I use the crystals again? Go ahead if you think you are able. I would not ask for anything major, however, for you need to save your strength. I stepped up to the crystals and placed my hands on them again. The question I had was about the Ancient of Days. I wanted to know all about him, where he came from, and what he looked like, and the degree of intelligence he possessed. As I began to think about this, I sensed that I should limit my probe of him, and that I was to be given all I needed to know at the moment. I sensed that the word ancient applied to him to a greater degree than I thought. Not only was he the first Adam, here 18 million years ago, but that before he became the world's first man, he and several associates lived upon the earth for a long period of time as extraplanetary beings and spent many thousands of years preparing the earth for man and building the city of Shambhala on 2 levels. A part of their construction was this subterranean dwelling and other centers under the earth. The other was a city made of refined matter, invisible to the human eye on the surface of the earth. Before coming here, I saw that he lived over 1,000 lifetimes on several other planetary systems in other solar systems until he overcame all regular physical limitations. Then after this, he became what is called a solar servant and spent over 200 additional lives as an advanced student and teacher, oscillating between the two. There are many other things I saw that I will not write at this time, but as I was receiving, I felt a desire to see him as he is now. The instant I sent this desire, I saw him standing with his back toward me next to the crystals in his private office. The first thing that surprised me was his age. For some reason, I expected to see an old bearded man, but before me stood a vibrant, virile man who appeared to be in his early 20s. His hair seemed to oscillate between a light brown and a rarefied white, and he was smooth shaven. His hair was fairly long, but not shoulder length like the pictures that we see of God in various books. He was also quite thin and taller than average. His appearance had a very regal image to it, despite his appearance of youth. I got the impression he was a little over 6 feet tall, but that could be incorrect, as he was the only one in the room, and I could not line him up with anyone else. I wondered why I was being shown his back and desired to see his face. At this expressed desire, I viewed his presence from several angles, both sides, his back, but his face was hidden from me. I became very curious about this and expressed a desire again to see his face. This time a message formed in my mind. Even Moses did not see my face. Are you greater than he? Suddenly I fell back startled at what I perceived. I was just curious and had no desire to be greater than Moses. I was hoping that I did not offend this great being. What happened? Asked John. What did you ask to see? I just wanted to see the face of the Ancient of Days, I said, getting up off the floor. Where did you get the idea to ask for that? I don't know. I just wanted to know what he looks like. I had no idea that you would ask for such a thing, or I would have warned you. Warned me about what? Okay, so we will continue after snaps with that. Interesting, right? So these crystals on the New Jerusalem have all the answers. kind of like the Akashic Records, right? When we asked about the Akashic Records hold all the records from every lifetime of every soul on the planet. Hey, Christine. Hey, beautiful BX. Yeah, it's snap time. In just 1 moment, 1 minute. Happy 12/12. Hi, Amy Lynn. Hi, beautiful. There it is. Snap time. Toot, toot, toot. Yep. Urim and Thummim. Thummim. Yep. Okay, here, I'll show you the spelling after snaps. This is our butterfly. All y'all are on here to empower yourselves and create. This is our past loved ones, always with us anytime we think of them. This is our room. Force Fairy do this for us. This is the dragon energy, the priest, the pan, the star, the angel, the Joker, the Mother Goose. We are safe in here. XOXO, hugs and kisses, the Ankh, the White Rabbit, the magic, and time travel. Here is Steffi did this for us, and this is a reminder that we're always watched over by the galactics, by our ascended masters, by the angels. We are, from the Hopi prophecy, the rainbow butterflies, rainbow warriors. And Kathy did that for us. Beautiful crystal painting. This is a song of the 144,000. We thank you, Mother Father, that you have revealed to us your protective universal light. That within this light is complete protection from all destructive forces. That the Holy Spirit of your presence permeates us in this light, and wherever we will the light to descend. We thank you, Mother Father, that you fill us with your protective fires of love, that within this love is complete protection from all destructive thoughts and feelings, that the consciousness of Christ is lifted up in us in this love, and wherever we will the love to be inflamed by our will, right? Here is a lucky hug for everyone in here creating. You all are loved and appreciated. And we thank you, Mother Father, that you are in us and we are in you, that through us your will is sent forth on wings of power, that your purpose is accomplished on earth as it is in heaven, that through us your light and love and power is manifest to all the sons and daughters of mankind. Because we are the light, we are the love, we are the truth, we are. And divine love is working through us here and now to create our new earth. And this is our healing chain. And all these people have asked us to connect our energy with theirs so that they can heal themselves. So however you do that, with light language, with Reiki, with crystal healing, with prayer. I'm going to call in Archangel Raphael, have him connect his energy to all these beautiful people. And we are going to send them love, light, and healing energy now. All right. Thank you so much. Yes, we got the Rancher book today. I will put a link in our Discord at 1 or like 10 minutes before 1 and send out everyone that gave me your private emails. I will send those out at the same time. All right, let's finish this chapter and then we will go over to TikTok and we can talk about this. All right. And remember, guys, as I'm reading this, if you have any questions, write them down so we can talk about it on TikTok. Okay. Those who are in mortal physical bodies are not allowed to see his face. We're not allowed to see his face. In mortal physical bodies. Right? So, why not, I asked. Because if you saw his face while still in the body, you would die, he said. Images of horrible alien creatures crossed my mind as I said, I hope you're not going to tell me he has a lizard face or something like that. Then I thought to myself, what a horrible thought to think about such a god-like being. No, my friend, John said, smiling. He has the most beautiful face in all of creation. But if you were to look him in the eye, the spiritual radiation would be too strong for you. He did send me an interesting message, I said. He asked me if I was greater than Moses, because even Moses did not see his face. We cannot hold the frequency of his light. Yes. Do you know that some people can't hold the frequency of our light? Have you ever met those people that can't look you in the eye? Think of that. John shook his head knowingly. He was referring to an account correctly recorded in the book of Exodus, chapter 33. God did not let Moses see his face, and explained in verse 20 that no one could see his face and live. Yes, I've heard this before. You cannot see God's face and live, or the source's face. But if you read over the account, you will see that Moses saw the back parts of his body, but not his face. Right. Exactly. Yes, that's what I saw, I said. I saw his back parts and a partial side view. He seemed to be an extremely handsome and amazingly young person. One of his names is the Eternal Youth, said John. Even so, for many new inhabitants of Shambhala, he teaches as an older man with a face that is compatible with the energy of the students. Not all the residents here are perfect, and many have reservations about accepting the appearance of one so young as their superior. In addition to this, only a true immortal, or a person free from the restrictions of his body, can see this entity as he is face to face. You've told me just enough to make me more curious than ever, I said. Who are the inhabitants here anyway? There are a handful of Earth residents who have overcome death to the extent that they change the vibration of their physical body so it is transfigured. These residents, such as the Christ and the Buddha, we had the Buddha yesterday, can look on the face of the Ancient of Days. Other visitors are human disciples who come here in the dream state. This is the mothership. This is Shambhala. This is the New Jerusalem. All one and the same. Also spoken of in Revelations. I can't think of the verse right now, but it definitely is. Here they attain certain classes to help them correctly fulfill their missions on the earth. So we take classes in Shambhala, aka New Jerusalem, right? The mothership. We take classes on the mothership in our dream state. Who here? Who was it that said that you guys you're sleeping all the time? Oh, that would be Lynette. Ha ha ha. Maybe you've been doing some work on the mothership, Lynette. All that dream state you've been in, right? Telos also. Yes. Oh, that's right. Telos. Yeah. I think we go to both places. Yeah. I think we go to both places. Another group are immortals who came here from another planetary system with the Ancient of Days. A final group are temporary visitors from other systems. Shambhala has an exchange program with other planetary systems. Isn't that interesting? An exchange program. A teacher may be sent to Sirius for a period of time, and a Syrian may be sent here in exchange. Then, when the exchange has ended, the returned teacher holds classes revealing how things are being handled on another world. This gives the teachers better ideas as to how to help this one. So, how are things on Sirius? I quipped. Don't get me started, John shot back. Remember the second keyword? We must focus on the task at hand here, or we will run out of time. We need to move on to introducing you to the second key. Yes. Yes. I've had people end up in a classroom when I did a session with them. It was who was it? It was Dorothy. Dorothy ended up in a classroom. Yep. Hello, Benny. Hello, darling. So, the second key. Hi, Dustin. Hi, darling. John continued. The second key of knowledge to understand is the middle way principle. The middle way principle. You know, some of these keys we are going to be familiar with, but we may learn a little bit more about them. Right? Oh, I love you too. The great teacher of the middle way was, of course, the Buddha, who we had yesterday and the day before. Remember, we got the Buddha 2 days in a row. And today we have Bridget. He realized the middle way after experiencing two extremes in his life. First, extreme comfort and riches, and later, extreme poverty and deprivation. During the deprivation extreme, he was said to have been living on just several grains of rice a day, seeking enlightenment, when the answer flashed into his mind. The way of enlightenment is neither excess or deprivation, but somewhere between the 2 points of the pendulum. Everything happens for a reason, Dustin. Everything happens for a reason. The true teaching of Buddha's middle way has been lost, even in the East, but many of us have the imprint of the knowledge within us. So the question for us to examine is, what is the middle way? John paused and continued. There was a major keyword for the first principle, and there is another sequential keyword for this one. As you contemplate this principle, it may be helpful to you to read about the life and teachings of Buddha. They can be an inspiration no matter what your religious foundation may be. I thought about his words and replied, I find it interesting that you are a character from the Bible, and you often quote the Bible. Now you introduce a non-biblical person. How does Buddha rate in the scheme of things when compared to Moses or Jesus or the prophets? During the past 6,000 years, the Moses, Buddha, and Christ are the three greatest teachers. They are the greatest because they perceived through revelation and taught the first two aspects of the Trinity of God. Where else can you learn about the Trinity of God? The Urantia book. The Trinity is, of course, the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost in Christian language. Together, Moses and Buddha represented the Holy Ghost, and a more accurate description of this quality is light. Buddha often used the word enlightenment when referring to it. Many metaphysical students and teachers have associated Buddha with the aspect of light, but have ignored Moses in the equation. They do not register the fact that Moses paved the way by introducing laws that laid the foundation for civilization as it exists today. These laws forced evolving humanity to use the light within their minds to judge good and evil, right and wrong. In other words, Moses forced humanity toward a more enlightened civilization, whereas Buddha directed us toward a more enlightened inner philosophy. Moses represented the outer light, whereas Buddha represented the inner. Our current society corresponds to the influence of these two great men. Western civilization, which corresponds to Moses, demonstrates its light outwardly through its science, technology, business acumen, and legal structure. Even if we compare the great cities of the East to Western cities such as New York or Paris, you will see that the outward physical light of the West is much brighter. On the other hand, the intelligence in the East has put its attention more on the inner light. Very few in the East has ever believed that God created the world in 6 24-hour days, and have long saw the earth as an ancient place. Most of the people in the East have also accepted that reincarnation is a true and logical doctrine, and have refused to see God as some wrathful entity who takes glee in sending his own children to a burning hell. The devout in the East have received many benefits from meditation, and most of the martial arts came from there. The time is now coming when the inner and outer lights are merging to create a unified light. As the universe sends us the song Om. Okay? The West is taking the benefits to technology and business to the East, and the East is giving back by presenting the West with the best of its inner teachings. The Christ, who traveled widely in the East during his missing years, which, we've shared about the Christ and about what happened in the missing years, and that's also in the Urantia book, represented the sun aspect, and the more precise word for this is love. Thus did he reveal the true meaning of spiritual love to the world. This planet still has a long way to go to understand and apply the teachings both Christ and Buddha. The world has pretty much learned what it can from Moses, and we are approaching a time when practical law will move to a higher level. What about the third aspect? Is there more to be revealed about this? I asked. Yes, much more. As the age passes from Pisces to Aquarius, this final aspect will be revealed. Many disciples understand this father aspect to represent power. But there is another key word to be revealed and comprehended. The key word will be revealed soon, but the understanding of it will unfold over a period of 1,000 years. This first key has taken longer than I expected. Will all of them take this much work? The time it takes you to get the basics of each key will vary. Most will not take as long as the first key. For one thing, you have learned a lot about the intuitive process that you did not know before. That will make future keys easier for you. What did we learn, guys? The attention, right? How much attention we put on something. I've got to admit, this has been a fascinating session, I said. You've almost made me forget all the troubles Elizabeth is going through, but not quite. If we are done, I probably should be getting back to her. My greatest concern here is that I want to take her back something that will give her hope. Now, you said that there is a temptation she must undergo without my physical presence. What can I do to prepare her for this? You've already done all you can do because her hour of temptation has arrived. What do you mean? Are you strong enough to use the crystals one more time? I feel kind of weak, but if it involves helping Elizabeth, I will make the strength. I will approach the crystals from one side and you the other, John instructed. If you sense through our next experience here that you are losing too much strength, then you must withdraw. I did not plan on you making an attempt to see the face of the Ancient of Days and depleting yourself of so much strength. I was hoping you would have a greater reservoir of life energy for this moment. I will join with you and pour into you all the energy I can. I don't understand. What will I need all this energy for? I asked. Touch the crystals with me and you will see. John and I moved toward the crystals from opposite directions. As I adjusted to the vibration, I began to see Elizabeth at home, sitting in her wheelchair. The picture was more real than TV or even a Star Trek-like hologram. It was as if John and I were standing right there watching her. I felt heartbroken as I watched her wheel herself over to the front door and grab the door handle and make a feeble attempt to stand. She pulled herself up a few inches with her shaking hands and fell back into the chair. Then she started sobbing. Joseph, 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 where are you? When are you coming back? And what have you got for me? Has John given you some magical solution to renew my strength? Oh, please, God, let him find some way to help me. I was so moved that I started pulling away from the crystals, saying, I'm here for you, sweetie. Don't pull away, said John, or you could sever the connection. Keep touching the crystals. I continued to secure my hands on the crystals. Elizabeth's presence seemed so real that I felt like I was really there. Now, you must prepare yourself mentally for what comes next, said John, and not remove yourself from the crystals. If you wish to lend spiritual strength to Elizabeth in her time of need, you must apply the lesson of the last keyword and focus your attention on the desired outcome as you never have before. Oh, this is crazy. Just as I found myself wondering what it was I was supposed to prepare for, I heard our doorbell ring. The peephole was too high for Elizabeth to see from her wheelchair, so she usually wheels herself to the living room window to see who is there before she answers. She headed toward the window, but she was so tired that when the wheels hit the edge of the carpet, she muttered, I'm too tired to check. Then she backed up and opened the door. It was Philo. Uh-huh. It was Philo. Both Elizabeth and I were totally shocked. We had both assumed he was on a plane back to Los Angeles. Elizabeth moved back in her chair, and I just about moved back from the crystals. Hold on to the crystals, warned John. That son of a bitch, I shouted to John. Listen, you've got to get me out of here right now. Transport me back home right now so I can protect her. This is her temptation, said John, and you cannot be physically there for her. There are certain things she must resolve alone. But I just can't be here like a ghost and watch her deal with this guy. You've got to, said John. The only way you can help her now is to focus all your attention and strength in her direction. And for heaven's sake, don't lose contact with the crystals. Right, Christy? You're asking too much of me. I just can't stand by and watch this man destroy my wife. I'm not asking you to do this. The soul of Elizabeth cries out for your help. Now put all your attention through the energy of the crystal on guiding your wife, and just maybe she can come out of this in one piece. The thought came to me that John had never let me down in this life, and possibly others. So I mentally reassured myself that I must trust his words and focus all my attention on the task at hand. I concentrated my attention on the scene in my home and saw Philo push the door open and walk inside. He apparently came alone, without Lance. I have canceled my flight and came here to remove that dagger and restore your health, he said matter-of-factly to Elizabeth. My heart sank. I felt so dismayed. I didn't feel like I could help a fly out of a cobweb. I wanted so much to just let go of the crystals and demand that John send me back home, and so I could throw Philo out. I almost felt that was what I would do if I was a real man. But then my mind remembered that my only real chance to help her was to hold on to the crystals and apply the little knowledge that I had. As I resolved to follow John's advice, I realized that I was entering a battle unlike anything I had ever before heard or seen. A battle that Elizabeth and I must win. And tomorrow we will read about the last temptation, right? We're all rooting for Elizabeth and Joseph. And that, guys, is class today. Sorry to leave you on a cliffhanger. Sorry, not sorry. And don't you be cheating either. Patience is a virtue. Patience is a virtue. Aw, I love you guys. I haven't read it either. Do you know how hard it's going to be for me to not come back in this room and read this chapter? But I won't. I will not read this chapter. I promise you. Because I haven't read it either. I won't. I won't peek. I won't. Right? Thank goodness it's not Friday. Tomorrow's Friday. If you had the book, you would read ahead. Oh, that would be cheating. I can't do it. I want to read it with you guys. Right? Yes. We'll finish. We'll do the last chapter. And this is the last chapter in the book, guys, in this book. I'll show you the picture on the next book we're going to do. The Lost Key of the Buddha, it's called. And it's book 3. The Lost Key of the Buddha. I've also been told I need to make a chart with all these keys on it. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you put the rank down so we can read it together? All right, guys, you want to go over to, let's go over to TikTok and chit chat. Wendy. It's a good one. It's a good one. Oh, Christash is just getting the finale of the book. So yeah. Go back in the classes and you'll hear the whole story. It's a really great book with lots and lots of wisdom. Lots and lots of wisdom. Yay! Oh, there you go. You'll be bringing your keys back to Italy. Yes. Yay, Wendy. You got your TikTok back. Awesome. All right, guys, let's go over to TikTok. Ready? In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I will see you there. I can't wait.